If you want, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be my mid-year book freakout. Every year, midpoint, I look back on my reading, kind of seeing which ones were the best books that I've read, most disappointing, blah, 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 and talking a little bit about my Goodreads reading challenge because I think I'm going to have to increase my number because my goal was to read 50 books. I did put it a little bit lower because last year went terribly. So at 50, but as I'm filming this, I'm at 23 finished. And I'm about to finish like 2 other ones. So things are going well. I will be increasing it to 75 because gotta challenge myself a little bit. I don't want to put it at 100 because as you're gonna see, I have a lot of big books that I'm hoping to read before the end of the year. And if I put it at 100, I don't want to stress myself out. That's not the point of having a reading challenge, at least for me. So let's look at some of these questions.
Lonely, you're the reason why I can feel those butterflies.
The first question is the best book you've read so far in 2021. Okay, I'm one of those people I kind of resigned that question of choosing one favorite book. I can't do that. But if I have to, have an arm twist, and I chose to answer these questions, not to repeat my answers. So it helps a tiny bit. My favorite book that I want everyone to read, I don't like the cover, and I feel like if I show it, people are going to skip ahead. No, we are reading this book, okay? Just trust me. Kindred? Oh my gosh. It took me a while to pick it up because I was intimidated by its author. I had a bunch of her books on my shelf. I still do. I'm planning on reading more. But I was scared I wasn't going to like it. It's not super popular on Booktube, but it's definitely a well-known book. And my gosh, did I not expect any of this. It's kind of like historical fiction with like a little bit of sci-fi because there's like time traveling happening. You follow this black woman who lives in the 1970, I think 76, and she's thrown back in the 1800, like 150 years prior, and she has to survive, try to figure out what's going on with her because it happens a couple times, and it's super interesting. Obviously, it talks about some hard topics like slavery and definitely some trigger warnings to look up before picking it up. But this was amazing. It's definitely something that will stick with me forever. The way the author describes the struggle the main character is going through and everyone around her, and it's amazing. Definitely something that I keep mentioning. I feel like I've already included it in a couple of videos, like best standalone, because it's one and done. It's a quick read. Honestly, once you start reading it, you're not going to be able to put it down. And I talked about it also in my like best first sentence in a book because it starts, the first sentence is, I lost an arm on my last trip home. So like it starts pretty intense and it was awesome. I don't know if you can see them, but I have mentioned in my previous video that I have a little prism in my window and there's like a bunch of rainbows around me right now. Makes me happy. So definitely pick it up. Do it. Question number 2, best sequel you've read so far in 2021. This is where I felt the shame because I realized that so far I have read a ton of standalones, which I'm not mad about that, but I have started about 13 new series. How many times do I finish series? Very rarely. I think I've only finished 1 so far this year. And yeah, that's not great. So there are only 3 sequels that I've finished so far this year. So not a lot to choose from, and all of them ended up in my like 3 stars line on Goodreads. So we have The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers, which is the 4th book in the Wayfarer series. We have Exit Strategy by the Murderbot by Martha Wells from the Murderbot Diaries, once again number 4 in a series. And then we have Children of God by Mary Doria Russell, which is the 2nd book after The Sparrow. A tough choice because they're all quite different, but if I have to choose, which again I don't like doing, but if I have to choose, I'm gonna have to go with Children of God, which was still great. It's just that it's a bit too long. I feel like the middle could have been like a little bit. It's definitely still as torturous as the first book. Definitely do recommend it if you can handle it. I'm still curious to see what that's gonna look like in was it a movie or TV show that they're making? They better do it and do it well because I want Emilio in my life on the screen. So yes, I have to choose that one. But like I said, I haven't read a lot of sequels, which I'm going to be working on as we now figuring out. Question number 3, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I've been pretty good at keeping up with picking up the books that are coming out as soon as possible. Like I just read, what was the name of it? Project Hail Mary, which just came out last month. But one that I'm still on the waiting list at the library is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I have read 2 of her books so far. One I really enjoyed, the other one a little disappointing, but I wanted to read more, and once I realized that one was coming out this year, you know, might as well. It just came out May 27th, so it's been just over 2 weeks, so it's, you know, very, very recent. I'm not really late. It's once again historical fiction. This one, you're following a family. I think they're having a party one night, and like you're just following them throughout the whole night. And like the next morning, was it like the house burned down, or like things got really messy basically overnight, and you go through the whole night with them, which I do like stories that are like really contained in time like this. So excited. I've heard good things so far, and I'm on the waiting list for the audiobook and ebook because I wanted it ASAP, and I don't know which one is going to be the fastest. Although I have an inkling because they only have 1 audiobook so far, and there are like, and I'm number 56, so they're telling me 6 months, but I'm hoping they're gonna get more copies because usually it's faster with audiobooks. And then the ebook, they have 19 copies, and I'm number 103. Pray for me. Question number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Without a doubt, Skyward number 3, which the title just came out, which I'm super excited, and the cover, which it's matching the rest of my gorgeous covers. Cytonic, which I'm a little sad that they're not all going to start with an S, because we had Skyward and then, yes, Starsight. Couldn't remember it. So a little sad there, but whatever. It's coming out 23rd, 25th of November. Yes, absolutely cannot wait. I will be actually buying this because this copy is just everything. Number 5, my biggest disappointment. Oof, I feel like I've had a couple so far this year. I'm hoping the second half of the year I will have more like fantastic books, which you're gonna see last question. A bunch of these I'm hoping I will give like 5 stars and fall in love with. But it's kind of a toss. I have Survived the Night by Riley Sager, although to be honest, I shouldn't be surprised because it's been pretty hit and miss. But I was hoping I was going to enjoy it, and that's my only 1 star so far of the year. So that was a big disappointment. I also really didn't care for Every Vow You Break, which, and even How to Stop Time by Matt Haig, which I love his books, but meh. So yeah, a couple disappointments for sure. Number 6 is my biggest surprise, which I have it with me. I'm super late to the hype, but this was amazing. I ended up giving it 5 stars. It is a mystery, which again, I have been so disappointed by so many murder mystery or just like thriller and mysteries. A lot of you were even commenting, well, maybe you just don't like them. I do. I'm picky, I guess, or maybe I just have been unlucky. But this is amazing. Here's a perfect example of a 5 stars for me. So yes, blew my mind. The writing just flew so nicely for me. Like they're pretty chunky, but like very easy to go through. Very captivating. Takes maybe like a couple, maybe like the first 100 pages to really get into it because it sounds like it's going to be a bit complicated, but not at all. It's amazing. And yes, definitely surprised because it had been on my shelves for what, like 5 years, and I never picked it up when it came out 15 years ago. So long time coming, but it was worth it. Number 7, favorite new author. Okay, one that I had been nervous to pick up, but was pleasantly surprised, and it is Joe Abercrombie. I read the first book in the First Love trilogy, which is The Blade itself, and I feel like I've been unlucky with a lot of really famous male author of like adult fantasy. I feel like I have issues with a lot of content, but not this one. I really enjoyed it. The 3 main characters are male characters, which probably helps, but the writing is really great. And what I like is that the writing changes depending on which character you're following, which awesome. I feel like very often the prose is not the main thing in a lot of adult fantasy, but this one is really different with that, and I really enjoy that one. I can't wait to read more by him. I have a couple of his books. He has a bunch of books, and I've heard they're all that great. So number 8, newest fictional crush. Okay, I don't get crushes. I rarely do. And I've read like 1 romance this year, so I don't think I've really picked up the right books to develop any crushes. With that said, if I have to choose like the most wholesome character, I think I would have to go with Asan from The Kite Runner, because my poor heart, I love him to bits. No one deserves him, and I will never be over his story. It's just, for you 1,000 times yes. No, stop killing me like this. So yes, Asan. Number 9, newest favorite character, Glokta from the First Love trilogy. I need to pick up book 2 because I love him. Like hero that became kind of a villain. He's now torturing people for a living. I love him. Absolutely love him. Is like inner monologue. Can't get enough of him. Do I have rainbow on my face? I feel like I have a rainbow. Number 10, a book that made you cry. I don't cry super easily, but the ones that affected me the most would have to be Kindred, The Sword of Kaijin, which again, I will continue to mention it until every single one of you picks it up because I will be annoying. Once you get to 50%, you're not going to be able to put it down. My heart. And The Kite Runner, once again, because that was heartbreaking. I had been warned and I still wasn't ready. And as I'm filming this, I'm actually almost done with the audiobook of A Thousand Splendid Sun by the same author. I'm also in pain. Number 11, a book that made you happy. Again, I haven't been reading a ton of happy books so far this year, but the one that gave me the most like calming, soothing effect has to be Becky Chambers. Her newest book that's coming out next month, actually mid-July, is Psalm for the Wild Built, the Robot and Monk series. Oh my gosh, it's very character driven. It's just a futuristic version of our world where robots one day got up and left us. And you're following a monk who is non-binary and they're just figuring out their life. And it's just, there's just something about her writing. It just works for me. So yes, very comforting. Number 12, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. I haven't bought many books this year, but this one is just, and a lot of you were actually disagreeing with me when I did like a mini haul mentioning it. A lot of you were telling me you preferred the other edition that I think is ugly, which that's fair, you know, but it makes me laugh because usually we agree a lot, but I think this is the most controversial choice I've made so far book-wise, or at least choosing a favorite cover. So this is amazing to me. And I mean, it's not the prettiest cover I own, but between the two editions, to me, there's like no contest. But yeah, to me, this is the prettiest book that I've bought this year because I've bought about like 5 books. So honestly, this is the thing I look forward the most for the next half of the year is going back to library sales because... Number 13, what are the books that you need to read before the end of the year? This is where it gets excessive every single time. I have a lot. I mean, I want to read at least... I only increased my goal with 25, not even 25 books. So I'm probably going to beat that, but I want to continue series. Like I was going to say finish series, but I don't think that's realistic. I want to read a second book in like as many series as possible. I think that's fair. So we have The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson because obviously, so Words of Radiance should have happened this summer. It's absolutely scary. Like I should leave this close to my door to defend myself if anyone comes in. But yes, over 1,000 pages. Very scared of it, but looking forward to it because I know I'm going to give this 5 stars. Like, why am I stressed? This one I'm a little bit nervous because of the size, but also because I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. And The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. Second book in this series. The third book will probably never come out. But I've heard that this isn't as good as the first one, so I've been nervous. But I really ended up enjoying the writing style and the magical school from the first book. So hopefully everything goes well, but yes, still nervous with that one, but that's the second book in this series. I want to continue the Millennium series, so The Girl Who Played with Fire. I don't know, once again, I'm kind of nervous, but book 2, so that would be another one for my new goal of finishing series, or no, continuing series. I wanted to continue the First Law trilogy, so we have Before They Hanged, so the second book. Then I also want to start some series. I know, terrible decision, but it is part of our book club, so... you know, that counts. The TV show is supposed to come out later this year, so we have to read it before that. The Eye of the World, which I'm stressed because really popular adult fantasy. It's a little bit on the chunky side, but I feel like there's just so much pressure. There's like 14 books. Everyone loves them. And what if I don't? I don't know. I'm kind of a little nervous, as always, with these kind of books. But looking forward to reading it. I'm prepared with all my post-its to talk about it. But yes, that's definitely something I need to read before the end of the year. And honestly, with series, there are so many more. Like I read Jade City, so Jade War, I think, is the second book. I want to continue that. There are just so many series. So I think that's going to be my main goal for the end of the year. Continue as many series as possible. If I can finish some, that would be great, but my hopes are not too high. This is how my year has been going so far. I am planning on posting a video. I usually do a mid-year review of my stats, like genres that I've been reading, Sorry, I've been dealing with allergies. I feel like I never have allergies, and this year it's been terrible. So yes, so I'm gonna be analyzing my reading for anyone that likes stats, and we can see why things have been going kind of so we can just fix things for the second half of the year. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe, let me know in the comment section if you have read any of the books that I'm looking forward to reading. Let me know which one I should put way higher on my TBR. Although I feel like these 5 that I just mentioned are very, very high because so hopeful I will give them 5 stars. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, and I will see you very soon. Upcoming video. Bye.